Governor Gordon picks a new Supreme Court justice. Central Wyoming ranchers worry about the reintroduction of bighorn sheep. And Interstate 80 is the toughest place for truckers to drive in the U.S. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily. The next Wyoming Supreme Court justice will be an attorney from Cheyenne. Governor Mark Gordon on Friday selected Robert Jarash for the Wyoming Supreme Court. He'll fill the seat being vacated with the retirement of Justice Keith Couts. Jarash is a partner at the Cheyenne-based Hearst Applegate law firm and has been practicing law since 2002. Jarash was selected over fellow finalist Casper attorney Tim Stubson and 6th Judicial District Court Judge Stuart Healy III. Wildlife advocates want to reintroduce bighorn sheep to the rugged Sweetwater Rocks area in central Wyoming. But Outdoors reporter Mark Hines says area ranchers are worried that federal agencies will use them to push livestock off of public lands.
The Split Rock Ranch, the Pathfinder Ranch, and some other people in that area would like to reintroduce bighorn sheep. But unfortunately, there's some BLM land in play, and the misgivings from the Stock Growers Association and some of those folks is they're worried that the BLM could use that as leverage to shut down grazing leases under the auspices of protecting the sheep, because bighorn sheep can be vulnerable to pneumonia that can be transferred from domestic sheep into the bighorn sheep.
Many ranchers don't trust the BLM not to change the rules of the game once bighorn sheep are returned. Uranium prices have exploded by 165% over the last year and 15% just in the last week. Cowboy State Daily's Pat Mayo reports that this jump has caused a new rush for Wyoming uranium miners to cash in.
Prices have now hit levels that they haven't seen since July of 2007. And the guy who runs the nuclear fuel stock exchange, basically, wouldn't be surprised to see if it hits an all-time high here soon, the next few months.
Over the past year, a buildup of a strategic uranium reserve by the federal government, as well as possible legislation banning uranium purchases from Russia, supply disruptions this month out of Kazakhstan, and a coup in Niger halting exports have all turned the spotlight on Wyoming's golden uranium reserves. I'll be back with more news right after this.
The weather is turning oh so frightful this time of year, but those excavation projects, they will persevere. I'm Jan Warren for One Call of Wyoming, here to remind you that no matter how big or how small your digging project is, contacting 811 2 full business days before you begin is required by state law. So stay safe unwrapping presents, not utility lines. From all of us at One Call of Wyoming, happy holidays.
The Gillette Realtor, who uncovered an alleged scheme where his former boss forged his signature to illegally collect commissions, has been slapped with a protection order for his efforts. Cowboy State Daily's Jen Kocher reports that MG Stuffplug uncovered the forgery that implicated his former boss, Tammy Henson.
He spent more than 2,000 hours, which amounts to 11 months of 40-hour work weeks, in addition to his day job, to go through all these documents to see if there were other instances where she might have forged. He took his documentation and sent it to 40 different groups and individuals who he thought might be able to help get these charges. And one of them was the Gillette Police Department. And as a result, Tammy Henson filed a protective stalking order and said, this is undue stress.
Henson has denied any wrongdoing, according to court documents. She waived her right for a preliminary hearing in Campbell County Circuit Court and was bound over to District Court with an arraignment date still pending. And winter cold and storms chase hordes of consumers to the grocery store, where all the necessities for riding out Wyoming winter snowstorms magically reappear as the stock gets low. But it's not magic. Cowboy State Daily's Renee Jean reports that those shelves get restocked because of hard, dangerous work, full of icy cold obstacles that can be life-threatening for the unsung heroes of our modern world, truck drivers.
They face a gauntlet, a literal gauntlet of obstacles out there. The cold can freeze up their diesel fuel. The other big thing in Wyoming, though, is I-80. I-80 is nationally notorious among the truck driving community.
More than one truck driver said it's a stretch many drivers actively seek to avoid. There's no shortage of examples of fatal pileups involving dozens of trucks and other vehicles at a time. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.